Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lindsay. Today we're doing our first fall get ready with me. I have some old products, I have some new products like Rare Beauty, I have some Covergirl clean makeup, Flower Beauty, just a nice array of things that I can't wait to play around with fall makeup and share with you guys. So if you want to see how I ended up with this look, then keep watching. Before we start, if you guys aren't already subscribed, I'd love to have you, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you do enjoy at any point. Let's try to get this video to 300 likes. Give it a thumbs up if you like fall, but let's just go ahead and hop right into it. All right guys, let's go ahead and get started. The first product I have here is from Rare Beauty, which is Selena Gomez's new makeup line. I'm doing a full review on all of her products. That will be my next video. I'm just waiting for my order to come in. I did go to Sephora and pick up two more things that I wanted to add for that video. So one of them is the Optimus primer, Illuminating primer. So I haven't actually put this on my face yet. It looks like it's just a gel, and there is some like illuminating pearls in it. Doesn't really have a strong scent at all. So that went on really beautifully, and it does give you a little bit of a glow to the skin. The texture is sort of just like moisturizer-y. It's not super thin or super thick. I think the finish is beautiful, and I like how there's not a super strong scent. It smells like faintly of like orange, but not something very noticeable. So I'm definitely excited to try that out a little bit more. Moving on to our foundation today. I'm going to be using the Exit Beauty High Fidelity Satin Foundation, whatever it's called. I haven't really gotten like a full opinion on this, so I wanted to use it again today. The second product that I ended up wanting to add to the video is the Range Beauty. This is the foundation brush. I watched a couple videos and originally wasn't really interested in this, but the shape of it, and I heard a lot of reviews that it applies really nicely with the brush, which I don't typically do, so I thought I would try this one out. This is a cruelty-free brush, by the way. It feels pretty nice. It's not very heavy, and it's a pretty densely packed brush. So I'm gonna try that with the Exit Beauty foundation today. I will make sure to wash this before I use it in the Range Beauty. I always call it Range Beauty. Rare Beauty video. Definitely gonna be a little bit dark, but that's all right. The Exit Beauty foundation is going like such a long way with this brush. So the foundation's gliding really nicely with the primer and the brush. I do wish this Exit foundation was just less scented. It just has a very like strong citrusy smell. I kind of forgot about it, and then I just used it again and was like, whoa. I think it's because this does have some citrus essential oils in it, which I would also prefer that I would not have that. This is looking a tad patchy, which I'm not like super thrilled about. I think we're gonna leave it like this. I would definitely prefer this. The sponge, again, I'm not sure if it's the formula or just the different way of applying it, but it didn't seem to work too well with the brush, and I don't think it's the brush. It just seems to be the product sort of clinging to texture. I do really love the shape of this. Since it has this tapered edge, you can sort of like tilt it to get around your eyebrows and stuff. I found that really helpful, especially with like my face shape. So this I'm excited to use again, especially with the new Rare Beauty foundation. Exit Beauty did not wow me once again, but we'll see how it wears. I'm gonna move on right to concealer. I'm actually going to do some spot concealing using my Ilia True Skin Serum Concealer and get rid of this dumb spots. I really do wish that because the Exit Beauty is a heavier, not super heavy, but it's more of a medium weight foundation, that it had more coverage to it. Because even with the brush, I didn't get a ton of coverage. It was more of like a lighter medium. I'll go ahead and blend that in with the Flower Beauty. This is their concealer brush. I love Flower Beauty's brushes. They're really good. I have this one, which I think is the blush brush. Like, it's so soft and perfect for blush. This would be amazing for bronzer too. Like, I need like 5 of these, and this one seems to be working really well too. I love how soft they are. They are cruelty free. Now I'm just using my Real Technique sponge to even everything out. All right, I think we're done working with the foundation. I'm really kind of disappointed with this. I had high hopes because it's Credo Beauty's first launch of their own brand. I do appreciate that they brought a shade range, but the formula to me just isn't that great compared to my other favorite options like Bite Beauty. I love Ilia. Those just look a lot less cakey than this one is seeming to look. Maybe it's just my skin type or texture, but even in like, I feel like I don't have dry skin around my nose, and it made it look like I do, or maybe I just do and don't know. But it accentuated it a lot more than the other foundations I use tend to do. So not super pumped about that, or the Exit Beauty primer. I mentioned that in my hits and misses, which was a miss for me. I feel like it did not do anything. Like, at least with this one, it does give a really pretty glow. I'll have to see how it affects like the wear of makeup, but it did. I feel like that helped to make my foundation go on smoother than it typically does. Onto concealer, I'm going to be using the Color ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Creamy Concealer. This is the shade Fair 005W. I decided to use this because basically all these products I'm using, I went through my collection and just pulled out things I haven't gotten a chance to use recently and wanted to give a shot. I'm going to blend my concealer out with my trusty Real Technique sponge. So Rare Beauty did come out with their own sponge, but if you guys seen the videos that I've seen, I watched Samantha's video, I watched, who else did one? Kathleen Light, Raw Beauty Christy just posted one, but the sponge hasn't really gotten a good review yet because it's like one of those textured ones. I found that with the e.l.f. Beauty sponge that's like $3. I feel like a lot of people like that, but to me the Real Technique sponge like doesn't have a texture to it. So especially if you have textured skin, you don't want to be adding any texture. And the e.l.f. Beauty one kind of just like, I don't know, created like not a good look. I'm gonna do a little bit of highlighting with this too, since I feel like the foundation's darker than my neck right now. I'm just going in with the concealer brush to create this line, sort of. Just placing it where I want it and then going with the sponge to ultimately blend it into the skin. That's also gonna kind of create your own chin contour without using contour, because you have the deeper shade, the foundation, which I brought down my neck, the lighter shade, and then that again, so it looks like bronzer almost, contour. To add a little more coverage under my eyes, I'm gonna use the Covergirl Clean Fresh Hydrating Concealer right in that darkest area. That is a very thin, more light coverage concealer, but I do like it to build coverage since it doesn't get cakey because it's like super light in formula, instead of going in again with a more heavy concealer. Next to set my under eyes, I thought I could live without this, but I probably only went about 1 month before I just repurchased it at Sephora. The Ilia Soft Focus Finishing Powder. It's like the last one they had in stock. I was like, thank you. I've never had their new packaging in the powder. Very cute, but yeah, this stuff is amazing, especially for under the eyes. It's just chef's kiss. I know you guys always want me to do ASMR. The brush I'm using to set is the Eco Tools Controlled Setting Brush, which is literally basically the same exact thing as the Real Techniques one. It's actually a little more precise, or maybe I just like really beat the crap out of those, but I'm gonna use this with the Ilia powder. Oh man, I miss this stuff. This is the perfect powder for people who love powdering but don't want to look super dry or feel very dry, which is exactly what I like, because I really like to have my face set down, but I don't like being very matte. My skin's combo, so it's not super oily, and this is just so pretty. It's a powder that doesn't feel like a powder, even when you use like an ample amount of it. It's also just so airbrushed for fine lines, just any texture going on. This is the best stuff. Since I like to reserve this as much as I can for my under eyes, I'm gonna use a new powder today. This is the Covergirl Clean Fresh Pressed Powder. They added a couple new products to the Clean Fresh line, one being the concealer. They do have a mascara I've been wanting to try too, but I just decided to pick this up because they didn't have the mascara at my Target, but they did have this. This looks like it's tinted a little bit, so I'm gonna go light-handed. This is a Luxie tapered face brush. This is very powdery. A talc-free powder. The Covergirl Clean Fresh is Covergirl's clean makeup line. I put clean because, you know, it's subjective to everyone. Their cleaner makeup line. They do have other clean lines, but it's not like their good ingredient line. I know that could get confusing. So just look for like the pink packaging. Wow, that actually looks so good. Thinking this was gonna look cakey because it's like tinted, but I do remember Covergirl powders being like pretty good. The shade was really nice too. Wow. That's surprising. For a bronzer today, this is actually another new product. Flower Beauty Heatwave Luminous Bronzer. This is a talc-free bronzer and it's cruelty-free. I was way more pigmented than I expected. As you can tell, we gotta blend that out. The tone of this is so nice. I saw it and it looked like it was more of a cooler tone type of bronzer. The tone and application of this is like absolutely beautiful. I feel like it looks better than my Hourglass bronzer. Is that crazy? It's also giving me like Hostess baked bronzer vibes because it has this like glowiness to it because it's baked and it's a little luminous, but it's not accentuating my texture. That's why I really love baked products. They give you a glow, but they're not so obvious on the skin. I believe this only comes in 2 shades and both of them are pretty light. So hopefully if they come out with deeper shades, so these just aren't like highlights for deeper skin tones, they could be bronzers too, because I really enjoyed the formula and I think they should be for everybody because they're really pretty. For blush, I really enjoy like nudes for fall, so I'm going to use the Blurred Buff by Bare Minerals, which has a bit of a glow to it. In the cooler months, I tend to switch my base to be matte and then my cheeks to be like the glowy part. Honestly, I kind of do this year round because I just don't love dewy products on my skin. But anyway, maybe that's a tip for you guys. If you do wear dewier stuff in the summer, you You could still have that glow, but if you want like a longer lasting, just more like full coverage base, then focus the glow in your cheek products. It doesn't even necessarily have to be cream, because the two that I used are powders, but they have the pearlized finish, so they do give a glow. This cheek combo is just giving me all the vibes, all the fall vibes. For my highlight, I'm gonna be boring again and use my Cover FX Moonlight powder. To finish, I'm gonna use some setting spray, and then I'll do my brows and we'll be back to get started on our eye look. To start off our eye look, I whipped out the Victoria Beckham. This is the tweed little eye quad thing. Packaging is so cute. I haven't used this in a very long time. So I'm gonna start with that brown in the corner there. I'm gonna focus this on the outer half of my eye at first, and then I'm going to blend it as a transition shade. Victoria Beckham, I'm gonna release like a foundation or something I'd be excited about. Ooh, maybe some bronzers or highlight. Taking that same shade and just running it under my lower lash line. Now that we have our fall base, I'm going to use some Danessa Myricks color fixes today. First, starting with Exposed, which is this more taupey mauve shade. So I'm going to blend that in with a flat shader brush, putting this all over the lid and then blending it into my crease. These do dry pretty quickly, so I would recommend doing like one eye at a time and really making sure you're working quickly. So the super cool thing about these as well is they're kind of meant to be built up. So I like to do a quick wash and go into the crease, and then go back in and really pack it on the lid so you get this cool looking gradient. They're also super long wearing, so once they dry, like they're on your eyes for the rest of the day. I'm going to go ahead and repeat that on my other eye, and then we'll move on to the next shade. Now that we have that laid down, I'm moving on to the color fix in Gingerbread, which is more of a rosy tone, and I'm basically going to be repeating the same step I just did with the other shade. I'm only putting this on my lid this time, but still blending it into the crease. Now to really add some life back into the eyes and dimension, I'm going to use the Victoria Beckham. This is the Blonde Lid Luster, which is this pressed glittery pigment. I'm actually just gonna mist my brush a little bit for this. Now with this shade, this is going to be focused on the very center of the lid, maybe like a halo eye. I'm creating almost a triangle shape. It's not a very precise triangle, more of like a half of an oval. Then I'm taking my finger to diffuse it out. So I think that's about where I'm going to leave the eyeshadow. It's fairly simple. I really only used 3 different products. But anyway, I'm really happy how it came out. If you want to amp this up like a lot, you could add some of the Danessa Myricks. She has a clear gloss, like that would look stunning. But anyway, since this is a halo eye and I have more round eyes, it's not super flattering of a shape, I'm going to do an eyeliner just to help elongate my eyes and bring them further out. So I'm going to do that with a black liner, and I'll be back. We are back with a liner and lashes. I did a pretty very dramatic liner, which is optional. For me, I really love that in fall, especially if I'm using lashes. I feel like I could go a little bit thicker. If you're just doing mascara, maybe keep it thinner. But I used the Lash Couture. These are the classic, what brand is this? The Kiss lashes. These are the super slim band, just called Lash Couture. I love this style. I trimmed them almost in half just to create more of a cat eye effect, especially if I'm doing a like rounder halo eye shape. For our lips, I was gonna use the Sephora lip cream again, but I think I might use a mix of these two to keep it like really monochrome. I'm just creating like a custom shade here, mixing both of those color fixes. Now that I'm pretty happy with that, I'm going to use the Persona Cosmetics Honey Gloss, which is this pretty more toffee colored lip gloss. All right, I think that was everything. I'm really feeling the fall with this look. All right guys, here's our full look, the whole shebang. I hope you enjoyed this. It was really fun to play with these fall tones. More glam. I do tend to do a lot more glam looks in fall and winter. They're just my favorite seasons for tones and makeup, and just a great vibe. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy this, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I would love for you to join me. But thank you again for watching. Let me know what your favorite color to wear in fall is in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.